Welcome back to the third video in this three-part video series, 3 questions to defeat the fear of failure. This third question is by far the most powerful, and yet it's the one that is asked the least. And quite honestly, the reason is most people don't want to know the answer. When I was in high school, like a lot of guys, I went to the odd high school dance and never asked a girl to dance. Why? Fear of failure, fear of rejection. I had a vision in my head of what could happen if I went and asked her to dance. I'd walk across the room, she'd say no, I'd have to walk back to my buddies with my tail between my legs and everybody staring at me. That vision caused me to never take action. Fast forward. Now in college, we have these Thursday night pubs. Me and my friends would sit down at the table, and for weeks, nobody asked anybody to dance. It was like high school all over again. This was, when I started to envision what this year was going to be like if I didn't get off my butt, it was not bearable. There was no way I was going to relive high school. I'm a college guy now. Step it up. So I decided I'm pushing past my fear of failure. So I started asking girls to dance. And I'll be honest with you, at the beginning, I heard a lot more no's than I heard yeses. And the reason was I was lacking confidence. I seemed desperate. I was attached to the results. But as time went on, I got more comfortable with it. And eventually, I hardly ever heard a no. And on the outside, I was exactly the same. But on the inside, I was different. I had pushed past my fear of failure. I had taken action, and I found out that the negative results that I anticipated would happen when somebody said no were not that big a deal. I realized some girls were going to say no. And if they did, that's okay. I go ask somebody else. I went into the situation more confident, more calm, and definitely a lot less desperate. And as a result, I did a lot more dancing and got a lot more dates. The third question I'd like you to ask yourself, if you find yourself being stifled, frozen by the fear of failure and not taking action, not moving forward, is to ask yourself this question. What will my life be like 1, 2, 5 years from now if I bow to the fear of failure and I never even try? That's the worst, right? Looking back at your life and knowing you never even tried. How is that going to affect your confidence? How is that going to affect your self-esteem? How is that going to affect your ability to accomplish just about anything if you lack the ability to take any kind of risk? I can tell you right now that if you decide that you're going to allow the fear of failure to stop you from taking any risk, you are pretty much assured that you will never accomplish anything worthwhile. Because anything worthwhile is associated with some kind of risk. And therefore, there's the possibility of failure. And if you allow your fear of failure to stop you from taking any kind of action just because there's a possibility of rejection or just because there's a possibility of failure, again, you're not going to accomplish anything of any significance. The fear of failure, what we imagine in our minds, is far worse most of the time than anything that's really going to happen. Now, am I saying that you should just take every risk known to man, don't think about it, don't analyze it, just go for it? No. You need to analyze the situation. And you have to decide whether the risk and reward is worth it. Sometimes you'll say no. Sometimes you'll say yes. But you're going to find that the more comfortable you get with risk, the more you'll go outside your comfort zone, and the more you'll grow, and the more you'll accomplish. And one success leads to another. The fear of failure will rob you of so many things. I immediately think of a quote from Les Brown. He said, "The graveyard is the richest place in the world. In there lies all the books that were never written, all the songs that were never sung, all the inventions that were never shared, and all the diseases that were never cured. All because somebody didn't have the courage to go after their dreams." And it's probably true. How many people do we know, maybe ourselves, that have not accomplished our dreams, not because we failed and couldn't recover, but because we never even tried? So anytime moving forward, if you find the fear of failure causing you to freeze and not push forward and not take action, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. What must always precede success? Failure. What will your life be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now if you push past your fear of failure, if you take action and you succeed? And remember from the previous video, even if you don't succeed the first time, we learn from the failure and then we move forward and do better. And maybe we fail again and we learn from that and we move forward and we do better. And eventually we get it. We succeed. And the third question would be, what will my life look like 1, 2, 5 years from now if I bow to the fear of failure and I never even try? How will it affect my confidence, my self-esteem, and my ability to take risks of any kind? Remember, every success is associated with some kind of risk. And if you decide that you can't push past your fear of failure and take any kind of risk, then your ability to achieve anything of any consequence diminishes greatly. Thank you for watching this video series. I hope you found it both informative and valuable. If you'd like to learn what I consider to be my greatest strength towards achieving any goal I set my mind to, go to my website at www.rorypeters.com and download my free PDF. I think you'll find it an invaluable resource towards you achieving any goal you set your mind to. Thank you again for watching this video series, and remember, success is not an accident, it's a choice.